Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Wrestle Rampage Moment of Truth post show. My name is Matt Hodge. With me as ever is Benjamin Rosenthal.
Yeah, physically I'm here, but mentally I'm still in that main event. I cannot believe Damien Slater is no longer our Australian national champion. It's just
reeling from the main event. We've also got Luke Hazard, special guest at the moment, with us as well. He's going to chime in, give us some thoughts on the event. Hazard.
Gentlemen, what a night. Absolutely huge show from Wrestle Rampage. Unbelievable. Jonah Rock, the brand new Australian national champion.
A brilliant showing by the national champion, Jonah Rock, the new national champion, Jonah Rock. Let's go through the matches, Benjamin. First off the bat, we had the Cruiserweight Cup match between Kasai and Mike Boomer. What do you think?
I was impressed with Kasai. He's a martial artist. I studied a lot of martial artists. He definitely had the eye of that martial artist. Unfortunately, Mike Boomer, even though he wasn't really in control for most of the match, he did come away with the win. This seems to be an ongoing theme with Mike Boomer. You think he's down and out, and then boom. Oh, boom, boom, boom. Hey, that makes sense.
Nice pun.
There you go.
Perfectly summed up there. A black belt in Shibudo. Kicks are plenty. Punches are plenty. But Boomer again scraped out the win.
Yeah, kicks and punches, that usually happens in martial arts. Thank you, Matt. Second match, we had a ladies match. Kellyanne, the veteran, against the Wrestle Rampage debuting wrestler, Joni May. Matt, what did you think of this one?
I thought it was great. Women's wrestling back at Wrestle Rampage. Fantastic to have women's wrestling back again. And what a veteran, Kellyanne. Joni May, a fantastic performance on her debut. But Kellyanne was too much. Hit the cannonball.
Kellyanne's experience certainly shone in this match. She just seemed to have a better ring presence than her opponent. Knew how to play the mind games a lot better and was able to walk away with the victory.
I agree. One too many times on the riveter. Kellyanne was able to capitalize, hit the cannonball, and get a 3 count. Third match on the night, we had Dean Valente and another debutant, 2 in as many matches, Tommy Knight.
Now, Luke Hazard, what do you think of the debutants this time?
Great debut there from Tommy Knight. He's definitely had the crowd behind him. And Dean Valente, what an absolute up-and-comer he's come along in strides here at Wrestle Rampage.
Now, I made the note during the match, his knee pads seem to have disappeared from his costume. I did speak to him, and he mentioned that he wants more bone-on-bone contact. He's starting to see a little bit more of a vicious streak of Dean Valente as of late.
Absolutely. Dean Valente certainly hasn't been able to pick up too many wins in Wrestle Rampage. The frustration has been coming out, and he was able to pick up the win against Tommy Knight.
It did show in the result as he laid a knee into his head and got the 3 count. Next up, very important match for Wrestle Rampage. We had the number one... It
was a farce. It wasn't a match. It was an absolute farce.
We had what was supposed to be the number one contenders triple threat between Link Barnett, Robbie Hart, and AJ Istria. Surprise entrance, Elliot Sexton.
And why was he a surprise entrance? How did that come about? Luke, how did that come about?
Well, as you would have seen, guys, Tisha Rose got the call from Commissioner Tom Chocolate.
Who wasn't even here, by the way, but continue.
He's obviously just made the call. Elliot Sexton was available for tonight. We knew he was coming. If you'd paid attention to Wrestle Rampage Facebook page, Elliot Sexton was scheduled for tonight. We saw the card of the lineup when we started here, gentlemen. He wasn't on the card at all.
We saw Elliot Sexton dominate early, literally throwing Link Barnett out of the ring onto the other men. Wasn't enough.
I honestly thought Link was dead. You guys were
fall.
ringside with me. That was just...
Yeah, that was pretty scary from someone that's been around as long as I have, and even as long as you have, Benjamin. We saw that right here at ringside. I was actually worried about his safety, but look, all props to Link Barnett. He was able to get up after that.
And not only did he get up, he continued to fight. Link Barnett spent a lot of this match not up in the air, which is where we usually see him. He's a cruiserweight. He usually spends much of his time doing flips. Saw a little bit more of a determined Link Barnett, someone who was a lot more grounded and a lot more eager to get his hands dirty.
But in the end, it was our new number one contender, AJ Istria, able to lock in, get the umpire. The championship shot means so much to him, as we saw later in the event.
Match 5, a bit of a personal match for me. Havoc with Heinz Schultz came up against the Smashing Machine, Chris Weiss, the 2 former members of the Brotherhood, of which I was a manager for almost 3 years. We were expecting just a gritty, heavy-handed grudge match, and that's what we got.
Exactly right. We knew it wasn't going to be pretty. Chris Weiss and Havoc, no love lost between them. They couldn't help but get involved in each other's match last event, and here they were facing off.
And speaking of getting involved in a match, what was up with Pat Graham? We haven't seen that guy in like 20 years, and he all of a sudden comes out, looks like he's been sleeping in a dumpster for 5 of them, and aids Havoc. I'm really close with Havoc. I know generally what he's about, and this is just bizarre.
Absolutely. 2 things that stood out for me in this match, gentlemen, was the athleticism from Chris Weiss with giving us some moves that we haven't seen for a long time, and from a guy that size, some unbelievable athleticism. And then number 2, Pat Graham returning to Wrestle Rampage, and as you said there, Ben, wasn't looking the best, but aiding Havoc. I'd be really interested to see what's going on in Pat Graham's head right now.
And we'll definitely see more of them on May 6th. Next match. Thank you, Matt.
Big and Gorgeous, we had the tag match. Big and Gorgeous versus Ain't Ironside and Mr. Juicy. Another grudge match, involved in each other's matches on the previous event. And here we are. It was a classic tag team versus 2 singles wrestlers. Big and Gorgeous able to team up, use their advantage, use their experience together. Ain't Ironside and Mr. Juicy often were taking a beating. However, it was enough. They got the stunner. They hit the Ragnarok. We even saw a stink face on the sensational Stefan, which the crowd was very happy
Thanks
with.
for reminding me. Jeez,
The smell.
That law's been outlawed in Melbourne. Maybe can we bring it here as well? Jay, Wetherell, listening? Get onto it.
And that led us to our main event. We saw an incredible match between Jonah Rock and the world beater Damian Slater. Benjamin, give us your thoughts.
Again, going back to the Brotherhood days, Damian Slater was our leader. Damian Slater captured that title to help us become one of the most dominant factions in Australian wrestling history. Seeing Damian Slater in control of so much of that match after the incident on the ring ropes with J-Rock's leg, I don't want to say that his ego got the best of him, but Slater definitely didn't capitalise as much as he should have. And we did see some serious strikes to that injured leg, didn't we, Luke?
Absolutely. Some vicious legs to Jonah Rock's leg. I thought about halfway through that match, I thought he may have had to just give it up. Referee Nick Savage was right in his face saying, do you want to give that up? Do you want to leave? But this is for the Australian National Championship. Jonah Rock wasn't going to quit. What an amazing match, gentlemen. One of the best matches I've seen in my career. And obviously Jonah Rock picking up the win there and becoming the new Australian National Champion.
So we do have a new number 1 contender in AJ Istria. We do have a new Australian National Champion in Jonah Rock. These 2 are friends. Like, we've seen them backstage. They hang out. He's part of that little clique group.
They coach together. They work together.
We saw Istria come out and say that's all been put aside. May 6th, we're going to see the clash of these 2 titans for the Australian National Championship.
Absolutely. What a great night. Revolution's going to be on May 6th right here at the St Clair Recreation Centre.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for joining us. That's been the recap. Thank you, Benjamin. Thanks, Hazard. Thanks for you guys at home.
Thanks, Hazard.
Thanks, Hazard.
Hazard.